What's up, y'all? I'm back for another fight prediction, but this is a possible fight prediction. As we all know, Robert Whitaker pulled out of his Vettori fight with an injury, so Marvin Vettori is left without a dance partner. He's reportedly called out both Khamzat Chimaev and Darren Till. While it's always a possibility he fights Khamzat, I don't think Khamzat's going to go to the middleweight division. I think he'd rather keep his focus on fighting Colby Covington or Kamaru Usman or anybody else that'll help him get to the title shot faster. Plus, if he fights at middleweight, at some point he'll have to fight Darren Till. I don't think he wants to do that. I think he'd rather keep his friendship with Darren Till, obviously. I think he'll fight Darren Till. Now, this is a risky fight for both guys. Let me talk about why it's risky for Darren Till. Obviously, he's lost 4 of his last 5 fights. He got choked out by Tyron Woodley 4 years ago, right? And then he got knocked out by Jorge Masvidal 3 years ago, who was coming off 2 losses at the time. He won a fight, and now he's dropped 2 fights again. So he really needs to win. If he loses again, he could either get cut by the UFC or might have to end up fighting on the prelims, even though he's such an exciting fighter. But the problem with being an exciting fighter like him is he leaves himself open to getting hurt too much. And he's proven to have been vulnerable with takedowns. So, it's risky for him, very risky. Even though I clearly think he's one of the top 10 middleweights in the world as far as his talent and how he fights. Now you have Marvin Vettori. He's coming off of a win over Paulo Costa this past year. Before that, he lost a rematch to Adesanya. It's a risky fight for him because if he loses to a guy like Darren Till, who's not in the top 5 at the moment and is coming off 2 losses, it's hard for him to try to get a third fight with Adesanya. I mean, it's going to be a hard time for him anyway because he's already been beat by him twice convincingly. So, unless he wants to go to another division and fight, I think he's going to have a hard time regardless, but it'll be even harder for him to stake his claim that he deserves a title shot. Ways to win, obviously for Darren Till, he needs to do what he always does. He needs to keep this fight standing. He needs to go for the knockout. He needs to try to finish the fight. He's very dangerous. He trains with Khamzat Chimaev, so now you got to imagine the way he fights will be better. He'll be smarter in his fights. He's not going to be taking as many risks in this fight. He doesn't need to do that. He needs to be prepared for 3 to 5 rounds. Obviously, I think he can. He's a finisher. So that means the longer the fight goes, the more in favor it is of Vettori. For Vettori, it's the same approach he had with Paulo Costa. He needs to wrestle, and if he's on the feet, he needs to slip and move. He doesn't need to stand there and trade too much with Darren Till because that's how you get knocked out. And I know Marvin Vettori is tough, and Adesanya has been quoted as saying he has a block head. He's very durable. He could take a beating. So that's good, but we all know Darren Till is a freaking monster, and he hits hard. So he can easily knock out Marvin Vettori. My heart's telling me to pick Darren Till to win the fight. My brain is telling me to pick Marvin Vettori if they fight. I'm going to go with my brain. I'm going to pick Marvin Vettori to win it. A very competitive, not competitive, but I mean to say a very good fight, a unanimous decision. If it's 5 rounds, he'll win this fight 49, 46, 48, 47-ish. It's probably not going to be an exciting fight. It's going to be probably boring if Darren Till approaches this fight like he approaches every other fight, very aggressive on the feet and always looks for the kill. Problem is Vettori is a very good wrestler. He knows how to take guys down. He knows how to control the positioning. Paulo Costa and Darren Till fight very similarly. They always look for the finish. If they can't get the finish, they probably lose the fight against a grappler like Vettori, who's really good at wrestling. I give Marvin Vettori a 70% chance to win this fight. And besides, Darren Till's coming off 2 losses. I see make it 3 unless he knocks him out early in the first, maybe second round. The longer the fight goes, he's not going to win that fight or the less chance of winning that fight. Again, he's been training with Khamzat Chimaev. He's been doing things differently maybe. But as far as until I see it in a cage, I have to go with Marvin Vettori by unanimous decision.